It's 3 a.m. and a voice, not loud, not dramatic, asks you a question in the dark. If you had to live this day again, not a better version, this one. Exactly as it was, every minute, every word, every scroll, every sigh. Forever. Could you? Not. Would you like another chance to do it right? No redos. The same alarm, the same snooze, the same commute, the same Tuesday. Again and again and again, forever. And the answer matters more than you think. This is the hardest question a philosopher ever asked. Not what is the meaning of life. This one. By the end, you'll know why it's the only question that can tell you whether you're actually living, or just enduring your life until it's over. And it isn't advice, it's a test you can fail. This is Mindscape philosophy. Today, would you relive this week forever? Let's make it concrete. Not your whole life, your week. Monday, the alarm, the snooze, twice. The same breakfast, the same train or car, the same traffic, the same small talk with people you don't quite know. Tuesday, the same screen, the same meetings, the same lunch, the same scroll when you should be working, the same scroll when you should be sleeping. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the same tired, the same how was your day, and the same fine. Now, the question again, would you live that week, that exact ordinary repetitive week again, forever? Be honest, because some of us, asked honestly, wouldn't hesitate at all. We'd just say no. And here's the strange part. It's not because the week was tragic. Nothing terrible happened. It's because the week was repetitive and unchosen. You didn't choose the commute. You didn't choose the small talk. You didn't choose the scroll. Or maybe you did, but not really. You fell into it. That's the real horror. Not the pain, the sameness. The sense that this week could be any week, forever, and you'd never notice the difference. Here's what that no is telling you. Too much of this week isn't being lived. It's being endured. You're waiting for it to be over, waiting for the weekend, waiting for the next thing, waiting for a life that isn't this one. Sound familiar? That's the waiting room again. Except now there's no door to wait for. There's just the week. So, the question isn't about the universe repeating. It's an audit. Would you choose this? A man wrote this question down 140 odd years ago. Let's meet him, not for his biography, for the question. Friedrich Nietzsche, a lonely, sick, brilliant walker who spent his life in small rooms and mountain air, writing sentences that still feel aimed directly at you. And in 1882, in a book called The Gay Science, he wrote a short paragraph he titled, "With typical understatement, the greatest weight." Here it is. What if a demon crept after you into your loneliest loneliness some day or night and said, "This life, as you now live it and have lived it, you will have to live once more, and innumerable times more. Every pain, every joy, every thought, every sigh, every unspeakably small and great thing, the spider he mentions, the moonlight through the trees, this exact moment would come back in the same order forever." And then the question, would you throw yourself down and gnash your teeth and curse the demon? Or have you ever experienced a moment so tremendous that you'd answer, "You are a god, and never have I heard anything more divine"? Most people get this wrong. They treat the eternal return as a claim about the cosmos, like time looping. But the demon isn't handing you a fact. He's holding up a mirror. The question, would you want this again, forever, is the greatest weight, because it forces you to look at the life you actually have and ask, is this a choice or just a habit? And that's why it hurts. The answer might be no. And no means you're spending your one life on a week you wouldn't repeat. So what does a yes look like? Nietzsche gave it a name earlier in the same book. 2 words. Amor, Fati. Love of fate. Not put up with your fate. Not resign yourself. Love it. Want it. Choose it, all of it. The pain and the Tuesday and the ordinary. So completely that you'd choose it again. And that's the quiet part the loud self-help never mentions. It says, go big, quit your job, chase the dream. But Amor Fati is harder and quieter. It's not about escaping the week. It's about choosing it. You can't always change the commute, the job, the money. Amor Fati doesn't ask you to pretend otherwise. It asks whether you can affirm the life that's actually yours. Even the parts you'd rather edit out. And that changes everything. Not the week. You in it. might be thinking, easy for you to say, my week is heavy. Grief, debt, a job I hate, a person I lost. I'm not asking you to love the heavy parts because they're nice. Amor, Fati isn't pretending the pain is good. It's refusing to let the pain be the whole story. Nietzsche himself lived in near constant physical pain. Migraines that flattened him for days. Eyes that barely worked. Loneliness that lasted years. And he still wrote, I want to learn more and more to see as beautiful what is necessary in things. That's the whole move. Not everything happens for a reason. Something harder and more honest, I will learn to see what's necessary. Even the hard parts, as part of the life I choose. And then it stops being something that happens to you. It becomes something that's yours. So here's the practice. Here's the test. Live one ordinary week this week as if you'd have to live it again, exactly, forever. Every Monday alarm, every Tuesday scroll, every small thing. Then ask yourself, honestly, would I relive this week? If the answer is yes, you're already living the life. Keep choosing it. If the answer is no, you've just found the exact thing that has to change. Not the whole life. The one thing. 2 questions to keep. 1. Would I relive this Tuesday? 2. What has to change? So the answer becomes yes. And here's what it costs. You give up the week you keep promising yourself. The better life, the escape hatch, the belief that the real one starts later. When you stop enduring your week and start choosing it, the sameness stops feeling like a prison. It starts feeling like a rhythm. The commute becomes yours. The Tuesday becomes yours. The ordinary becomes the thing you'd live again. Not because it got better, because you stopped waiting for it to be over. And that's the greatest weight. Can you say yes? Not to the life you're waiting for, but this one? The demon's question, one last time. Do you want this once more, and innumerable times more? The answer Nietzsche wanted to be able to give. Yes. Again. All of it. And that door in the waiting room, the one that never opens, you're not on the other side of it. You're the one who has to say yes to the room you found on this side. So, one ordinary week lived as if it's forever. Would you choose it? That's the question. That's the whole question. And it's yours to answer. That's the end of the problem of meaning. And next on Mindscape Philosophy. A new series. Why does modern life feel like this? It begins with a strange kind of homesickness for a life you never actually lived.